Hey, welcome back to another episode for Life for Living Well. My name is Richard. Before I dive into the topic that I bring to us this week, I do like to say if you'd like to know one or two things about this community, Life for Living Well, you can check it out on our community website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So not only you will find interesting things about this community, you will also be able to see weekly articles that we release or publish every week. And also we already have people that already sign up to receiving this article weekly. If you do like to be one of those people that like to get the article that is inspiring and evolve and helping, you can just chip in your email, and every time we push out the article, you will be the first person to receive it. This article is free, and you can also share the link with your friends and family. So let's dive in without taking much of your time. The topic that I bring this week is what I call what have I learned from letting go. So it's not just talk about letting go. What are the personal lessons I myself have learned directly from letting go? And I would like to hear your own experience of things or events that you're letting go in your life, and how has that improved your life in doing so. So as we normally do is to take one person quote or inspiration and use that word to build our message around it. So this week, for this particular message, I'm taking for Deborah Rebel. So she's a writer, but she put a perspective into the word letting go in a way that really touched me, and I really want to use it as an open quote for the message this week. So this is what Deborah said. Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care about someone anymore. It is just realizing that the only person you really have control over is yourself. And she's absolutely true. As you will find out what I've personally learned from letting go and how you can relate to it, or you can learn from it, or you can say no, it relating to me. So letting go does not come easily for many people. Why is that? Because by nature, women tend to hoard things. We like to keep things that is useful for us, things that is no longer useful for us. Have you ever seen your parents that they put the pictures and the painting that you did in your nursery days, even though you are in your 60s, your 50s, 40s, they still keep that memory that when you grow up, you will appreciate it. Yes, you do appreciate it, but how often do you look into it? The same as the picture that we took in our phone. How often do we bother to look into it? Until our phone started complaining that the memory, the storage is full, that then we have to start panicking or worry how to offload it to somewhere else. So how much more things that we don't really know that we hold on to it. But those things are actually creating a barrier or blocking us moving forward in our life. Whether it will be possessions or emotions or relationships. So what are the things that you hold on to? That you hold on so tight to yourself that you over-identify yourself with it. And if you let it go, you think that you don't know yourself anymore. Some even suffer from hoarding disorder, which is an ongoing difficulty in discarding or parting with belongings due to a deep-seated belief that they must be preserved. And one of the many excuses that I've seen is people say, maybe it will be useful tomorrow. Maybe I will be able to use it again. So this tendency can manifest in many aspects of life. So it could be holding on to negative experiences. It may also be emotional trauma, and it may be the relationships that we are in the past that still haunting us now, even if it's 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So let's quickly look into the impact of not letting go. What happens when we refuse to let go? So one of the greatest barriers to success is holding on to the wrong ideas. You know how painful it is when we keep erroneous belief in our mind, or we attach a sentiment about a person or situation, and we have no chance to reevaluate it in a realistic way. That where we are now, we are actually much better now to make a better decision than we are 10 years ago. But the event of 10 years ago still cripple us to make decisions that can really help our life move forward. Whether you kind of person that people don't show the love, or you need to do something to earn it. So the pain caused by inability to question or challenge this belief, it can lead to fear. And what does this fear will do to us? This fear will preventing us from moving forward. You will be surprised when you spend time with some people. They look for faults and they create enemy easily, as if their life depends on it. Without really spending the time to see what they holding on that create all this fear within them. So what then happen, you will see that distrust linger for too long. It breeds paranoia, that you always second guessing what the other person going to do. If they look at you such a way, you put the meaning to it. And what will happen? Make it difficult to see things from different perspectives. You cannot really connect to that person. You can never be able to have a relationship with them. So this fear-driven mindset, it influences interactions and relationships. And this is the root cause of many drama and unnecessary conflicts, even among the siblings. Because when you are not able to let go, forgive, it's really difficult to connect with that person without having a distrust about their behavior. So let me distract you briefly. So consider the story of an old farmer living in a remote village. Every decade, he would visit the city to sell his crops. Then bury the money in his compound, believing it will secure his family's future. Years later, government redesigned the currency, requiring citizens to exchange old notes at the bank. Since the farmer had ordered more than the permitted limit, he lost his entire fortune. It's a sad story, but it's true. So the irony of this story is that when we let fear dictate our attachment to things that no longer serve us, we risk losing even more. And this will happen many times. So it's like you close your eyes and you said, If I don't see the person's eyes, I'm not going to fall into the trap of deceptive people. You're not only going to avoid or lose the deceptive people, you also lose the right one that is not deceptive. But what we have to develop is the knowledge of understanding the people that you're dealing with. And you cannot know the people you're dealing with if you don't know yourself. One of the biggest challenges is to be modest with ourselves. And being modesty means awareness of your own limits. And many people today can be presumptuous in the sense that they do not know their limits. They do not know themselves. They're presenting so grandiose to the extent that you can be forgiving that they put everything together, because that's what they show on the media, on social media. And you relate to them based on what they do, or the business they own, or the title they have at work. I once met someone and I just asked them, what do you do? And they told me, I'm the head of research and development. So I thought that they will have a lot of people under them, working directly with them or reporting to them. So I said, how do you do with a lot of people with your role? I said, no, I'm the only one because it's a startup company. And I said, how long did this company startup? I said, over 20 years. The role, the job title, define this individual based on who they actually is. The question of who are you is nothing to do with your job title. But when we are attached to things and we couldn't let it go, we may also just get stagnant in one place for too long because of the image that we perceive or are getting from it. So letting go is an art of freedom. If this freedom is your priority, if this freedom that you desire, if this freedom that you need, you get to know how to let go of things that no longer serve you. An opportunity to create a new path and open doors to a fresh chapter. And you will notice this when you meet someone that truly ready for a new relationship in their life. They don't stuck in the past. They have done the work. And you can see because they come out radiating and with what they are doing, with confidence, no resentment, no anger, no bitchy about the past. They've learned a valuable lesson from it, and they embrace those lessons the past have taught them. So those kind of people, you really want to be with them. But those kind of people also are not going to be the people that jump to relationship with you. Because the thing that you like about them, they want to say it in you as well. And if they don't say it, they're not going to do it. They have made the peace with their past. And this shows how the way they carry themselves. So that takes me to another thing that I really want to mention with this podcast is what have I learned from letting go. So I've learned valuable 4 things in letting go, and I really want to share it. And I'm sure I will find 1 or 2 people or more that can relate to this. And if you cannot relate to this, that is also fine. Number 1, you will be okay. So one of the most important lessons I have learned is that things often work out for the better. Even when I end up in places I never planned to be, they sometimes turn out to be exactly where I need to be. And number 2, peace with yourself and others. You are no longer driven by the need to be right, but rather by the desire to do the right thing, guided by values and principles. And do the right thing most of the time is not the easiest thing to do. But if it is the right thing to do, you will know you don't have any choice. That's what the path that you will choose. Even if it means that you have to walk alone. Number 3, compassion and humility. Why many people hide behind bluntness? Because bluntness is the absence of kindness and compassion. So you no longer care about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it's going to affect the person that you send it to. So what you show there is that you show no respect for that person's feelings. And your impatience, your anger, your frustration make you just use bluntness as a honesty, but it's actually a rudeness in many cases. If you want to be rude to somebody, you go blunt with them. But when you begin to let go of many things, which is mostly resentment and sentiment of what people might have done to you, you replace it with compassion and humility. Humility, part of it comes that you yourself in the future, if you've not done it now, you will step over somebody else's feelings. You will mess up. Your values and your principle may be compromised. So this is where humility comes, that you don't put yourself above everyone else and you expect people to live according to your rules alone. You attract people that will be lied to you. You attract people that will lie to manipulate you because of what they want to get from you, and they cannot get it except they work with you. But the rules that you lay is becoming unbearable for them. So your understanding and knowledge and connection with others deepens significantly because you will be able to understand people in a way that they do not know themselves completely. And lastly, courage. Courage is another thing that I pick up in letting go. Despite fear, you take bold steps to release the past and move forward with renewed purpose. So, finally, each day presents an opportunity to let go. Imagine the number of insults, criticisms, or disappointment you might face from family, friends, strangers. Every day you must strive and ensure and practice letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Forgiveness creates space for freedom, while holding on to resentment, anger, and rumination only serve as an obstacles to your journey and goals. Is there something in your life that you are holding on to that no longer serve you? That's the question I'm going to leave you with this message this week. I hope this message helps someone, and thank you for your time, for listening and being part of this community. Please do share our podcast, share our website with your friends and family, and encourage them to sign up to it, and that will let the community to grow and get stronger. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful week. Ciao.